questions about stuff we covered. And just so you know, Derek's not really going to be working on the photos, but I asked him if he would sort of take charge of overseeing this, you know, to make sure everything's getting done, just because I got a lot of other stuff I'm dealing with on the course. So yeah, Eric, go ahead.
Could you, in the chat, could you post a link to the OneDrive folder? And I didn't save it in favorites in OneDrive.
Yeah, I'll have to go
claw back through my email inbox.
Okay, I'll have to go grab it, and I will share it in the chat. Do you want to start describing what your thoughts were on this while I go look for that link?
Well, you know, we talked a little bit before. You know, I thought was one of two things. The newest version of Photoshop has some pretty good tools for masking, and my thought was one of two things: either masking out the boxes and being able to drop them on an entirely different background, or simply masking them out for the purposes of either, you know, drop the brightness on the back, or, you know, by putting it in there, drop brightness on the background, something like that, just so we can emphasize, you know, the items, and, you know, and make the images less, you know, less busy.
Yeah, and that's really my main concern, is to minimize the effect of the background. It doesn't need to be a transparent background. In fact, I think it's better if it's not. So each, you know, all the images look more consistent that way. So go ahead.
No, just, well, let's see if I can get right to this from here. You know, so that was generally my thinking. Now, you know, after we talked about that, I realized that, you know, everybody who uses Photoshop has their own favorite way of doing things.
Right.
You know, so whether we you know, say, okay, everybody has to do it this way, or with an example image and say, okay, you know, this is the end result we want to accomplish. You know, you working on your group of photos, however you get to this point, but this is what it's got to look like. Go from there.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to all do it the same way. We want the style generally to look consistent from one section to the other. Butch or Herman, do one of you want to share your thoughts on that?
No, I would just say, I mean, as long as we all have, you know, like you were saying, as long as all of them look kind of the same. Do we know what these photos look like, though? Do we have any sense of how much work's going to be involved, or, you know, how much cleaning up needs to be done?
It varies. Some of them have a lot of stuff in the background because of where they were shot. You know, there's like utility shelves and stuff behind them. Some of them are bright red, the shelves in the background, or some of them have, you know, like next to the table where they were photographing the equipment, there's stuff on the floor that shows underneath, like wooden pallets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then others, you know, it's mostly just the table and the whatever the pieces are on the table. So it really varies.
So is it a situation where we could just crop the picture down to crop those items out, or?
Sometimes no, because like the ones with the printers, you know, they are so tall sitting on the table that the printer is in front of the background stuff.
Okay.
But what you could almost do is, you know, now that the way you were describing it is, you know, maybe doing something, as I said, in Photoshop, you create another layer, you take that background layer, desaturate it, so it essentially becomes black and white, and then you drop the brightness, however much, say 20-25%, maybe it needs more, but that would be a way to really de-emphasize the background and make it less prominent in the image and bring the image to the forefront.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the approach that makes sense to me. Like I said, I don't really want a transparent background, because then each image kind of is different size and shape and everything, but by keeping that background in there, they're going to all be square or, landscape. I think most of the places we'll use it will be square, but there will be some places where we'll need a landscape version. Herman?
Would it be possible just to
okay.
mask out everything, to actually mask to a different color? So we just have like a blue background on all of them, or a red background, or whatever color we choose, and just have the image itself sitting in the middle of that background?
Yep, we could do that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly that, and I think that's what I was trying to describe to you, is not necessarily putting them on a transparent background, but being able to mask them up and put them on their background.
On a solid color background.
Or something.
You guys are talking about on a solid color background rather than blurring and muting the real background. Is that what you're saying?
Sounded like that would.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that would be easier actually. It wouldn't be as much trying to make it fade away as much as you would on the regular background.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I just, my main concern with that is making the general shape of the image consistent, and that would work. I would say if you're going to do that with a solid color background, I'm thinking of the color schemes that we're using in the course, and we're mostly using grays and a little bit of light blue, and then red we're avoiding because there's enough of that coming through in other photos that there's so much red cross red everywhere. But I can actually even give you the hex codes for the colors of gray that are part of the branding if you want to use one of those. There's a dark gray and a light gray.
That would be easy.
What do you think, Carmen?
Yeah, I think along the lines as you were saying, the same thing is as long as we have the consistent look and feel and also sizing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, depending the process, doing like the overlay solid background could work.
Okay.
Depending on the images themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm fine with that approach. Oh shoot, what was I going to say? Yeah, and I know there are different ways to do that trace or whatever to outline the image, and you guys can figure that out. You know a lot more about it than I do.
I apologize. I think it's the fact that my laptop knows I'm about to replace it tomorrow. I have a new laptop coming in, and so it's going to be a pisser. That's the only way I can come up with. It's like I'm surprised I'm even on this meeting. Every time I try to write across email or anything, it's just dead. Surprised I didn't have to handle it on this meeting, frankly. I don't know why it's working, but I can't see anything on the web right now.
Okay, well, you're kind of going back and forth with your audio being intelligible, so. Is there other stuff that we need to talk about? I guess we need to talk about how to divide up the photo.
Yeah, and Susan, what
Categories,
size do you want these photos to be returned to you in?
Yeah, that's a good question. The course platform that they'll be running on is very responsive. So it's going to adjust the images to whether somebody's watching it on a phone or on a large screen computer monitor or TV screen even. So I think probably the best thing is the highest quality, whatever they are. They were shot with an iPhone, so it's not like some super camera or anything. But I would leave the image quality as high as you can, and then basically leave a copy of whatever the original is, whether it's landscape or portrait, and some of them are already shot square, but then for the ones that are portrait or landscape, make a cropped square version as well.
Sounds like the best thing might be to just edit them and keep in their native size. And if you guys need to do, it sounds like the software might be able to do whatever cropping, or do we need to handle this on an image by image basis?
You're gonna have to say that again because I missed part of it.
He was saying that the software that we use is really
Yeah.
going to image the size of the picture that we want. But
It will adjust it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll adjust it. But he was saying, is that something they have to worry about in the software that they're using? And that's no. Just the highest quality resolution that you can have is what
Yeah.
we're looking for.
Yeah, and you don't need to do anything to enhance the quality. I don't know if that's possible even, but I would say leave it at whatever resolution it is from the iPhone original.
And Susan, do you want them to
Yeah.
be saved as JPEGs or another format?
It can take either JPEG or PNG, whatever's easier or whatever's gonna keep the best quality. Trying to think. Oh, and I did send you guys a link, I think, before, right, to that little sample course that I put together. If you want to see how the responsiveness works as you're previewing the course, if you go up in the upper right corner, it has the different devices and you can just click on those to see how it looks in the different devices. But it does a really slick job of it, so it's not something that we need to worry about. Let me pull up the list of folders and we can see who wants to work on which ones.
I just question into the chat.
Oh, that's a good idea, Eric. He says, do we want to divide them up? We can all try a few and then meet back. Where's the rest of it?
Yeah, that's it.
It got cut off in the chat. Let's see.
Yeah.
Meet back next week to compare notes.
Yes, that's what I said.
I think that's a great idea. I would be happy to schedule the meeting, or Derek can. And I trust you guys to make a decision about it. I probably won't even attend, just because I'm trying to really keep my energy focused on the course creation.
Yeah, that's
Do you guys want to decide right now on a good day to schedule that, and then you can all kind of aim for that to get some samples put together?
This is Butch. That sounds like a great idea. The best time for me works right around the same time as we had today's call.
Okay.
okay. How about this same time Friday? Does that work for everyone, or would you like to do maybe Thursday?
Susan, when do these photos have to be finished and back to you?
I'm thinking ideally by the last week in May. I'm not even sure we're going to need them quite that soon, because this is for the second course that we'll be doing, and we haven't finished the first one yet.
Okay.
So yeah, there's not a big rush.
Yeah, I think this time next week should work for me as well.
Okay. All right.
That
I'll
works.
look for
Hey.
Friday of this same time. We can reconvene then.
All right, let me bring up that folder.
And Susan, have you come up with a way for me to access the photos?
Yeah, I thought you said you were able to get them.
That's right. I'm sorry. You're correct.
Yeah,
I'm getting this and the QR code project confused. I apologize.
yeah, I know. And yeah, that was, you can thank Eric for that. He's the one that told me, yeah, there is a way to do that in the settings. So I had to try a couple different settings, but I'm glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
It's good to remember for future reference too. And you said you had started working on one of the folders already, right?
No, this is Butch. I haven't started working on anything.
You didn't? Okay. All right. Oh yeah, and Derek says, Eric says, one of his coworkers and volunteers in ITUS, Joshua Hamlet, was the one that came up with that method. All right, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble finding where I saved.
Actually, DST.
Oh, not ITUS? Okay, I thought he and you were both.
I'm surprised they haven't kicked me out.
Sorry, mute that.
I was gonna say a phone ringer or
That was my phone. Yeah, that was my phone. And now you can hear it buzzing because I turned the ringer off.
just saying audio is really broken.
Yeah, your audio is really broken. I was gonna suggest you calling in, but we're probably not gonna be here too much longer.
No, I just need to find this
Yeah.
folder and then we'll be
Look,
done.
Eric, if we have this problem next week, I'll just give you the number to dial in.
Yeah, do you have a number for your account, Derek?
I do.
If not, I can schedule a meeting then.
Yep, I do.
Okay. All right, here it is, equipment photos. All right, let me share my screen and we can see who's going to work on what. All right, so we've got the Dell printer. It has 9 photos. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Laptop has 19. LHH radios has 10. Smartphones 11. UHH radios 8 and Xerox printers 20.
Susan, I'll take the Dell, seeing how I already have access to that folder.
Okay. And then you want to grab another small one as well?
Yeah. Yes.
LHH, smartphones, UHH.
I'll take the smartphones.
Okay.
And can you send me a link so I can get into that folder as well?
Yeah, you should be able to get it from that same link. Because the link I sent you was for the next level up for the equipment photos.
Okay,
So
it looks like it's only
folders.
letting me in. Yeah, the only folder it shows me is the Dell printers. When I go to the equipment photos folder, it only shows me the Dell printers.
One subfolder, that's odd. All right, I'll send you the smartphones with a direct link then.
Sorry for being such a problem.
No, that's okay. Actually, I wonder if I may have sent you the wrong link. That's possible. I may have sent you the link for the Dell printer rather than the next level up. All right, so you're going to take Dell and smartphones.
This is Butch, right? Butch is taking.
Yes,
that's correct.
All right, thanks.
And I guess I'll take the laptops.
Okay.
And I guess radios.
Which, the LHH or UHH?
The one next beside it. Let me see. I can.
Okay, that's
the one right beside the radio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. I have my own personal copy of Photoshop.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. That's what we're assuming everybody's using their own copy. Yep. Yes.
Not your screen, so just a couple folders and tell me what.
Yeah, that leaves you the Xerox printers and the UHH radios.
Me.
All right. Derek, I'll send Butch the link because I don't know if I shared that folder with you. And then can you follow up with them and as far as who's doing what, just so that we have that consistent?
Yep.
And
Gotcha.
you're going to schedule the meeting for next week. I really appreciate you helping out with that.
No problem. I got you.
My brain needs like one less thing to be trying to manage at this point. So,
I got you. No problem.
all right. Anybody else questions before we wrap up?
And you're going to send Susan them, I think you owe them the color codes for
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yep, yep.
The hex codes for the
X codes.
grays and yeah. You know what? I'll send you the light blue as well, and in case the gray is not enough contrast with the equipment and the table and that kind of stuff. So I'll send you a few, and you can see what you guys think looks best. All right. Well, let me thank you profusely for helping with this, and it's going to be really nice to have those all looking very consistent and helping to focus on the equipment instead of all the junk in the background. And I appreciate you sort of taking charge of the project, Derek, and everybody else, sort of, you know, contributing your knowledge of this, which is minimal for me.
No problem.
I mean, I have very strong feelings about what it should look like, but I don't know how you get there. That's your job to figure out. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Permit
Yep.
Butch. Do you guys hear me?
What'd you say, Eric?
No, I was gonna say, now that we have this meeting open, we could use the chat feature from this meeting as a way to kind of compare notes in the week if we wanted to talk to each other about what
That's
we're doing.
true.
Yep,
You can
do
chat
that.
with each other right inside of this meeting. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, will Butch be able to get back to it as a guest?
I believe so. Because I believe so. We'll test it.
So if you're in the meeting, use the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Butch, you want to type something in the chat right now? Just to make sure.
Sure. Hold on one second. Let me get
Yep.
into it.
I don't know if that'll help give you access or not, or if that's just magical thinking, but
No, I think you'll be
it doesn't
fine.
hurt to try. So,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I see you type it. Yep.
Yeah, because you can just open up Teams and we can go into the chat without having to open the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much and have a great weekend. And good luck with getting started on the project.
Right.
Certainly appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Susan. Have a
Let me
great
know
day.
if you
Okay.
let me know if you need my help for anything next week. Otherwise, I'm gonna let you guys take off with it.
Sounds good,
Alright.
guys.
Okay, thank
Y'all
you.
have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Did you stop the recording, Derek?
On it now.
All right.